All right, welcome to One Nation, a Sports Soccer Magazine Extra. Today is Monday, April the 11th. I cannot believe we're in April already. Almost seems like it's April Fools or something. I can't believe we've moved through this year this quick. Speaking of April Fools, no, I'm just kidding. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my son in law, DJ Gill, out there in Colorado. Jay,
Whoop, whoop.
what is going on?
Hey, I'm just glad to be on the list of April Fools. I'm a fool. It is April, so this is great. Thank you. What a great introduction.
It just came to me all of a sudden. I thought, you just
Uh,
called me the bald eagle right before we came on. I thought, wow, okay,
hey, it's all
caca.
right. Caca, caca. It's fine, Dad. It's fine.
All
I
right,
am thrilled. I am thrilled to be on tonight's show because we have two amazing people that are going to be joining us. But who I really want to talk about is Helias Senior Athlete. Now, you might have heard this name a lot if you've been a follower of One Nation and if you've been following my hot takes. Whenever I talk about Helias, I typically talk about two names, and that's Desmond White and Malcolm Davis. Those two names are usually in the same sentence because that dynamic duo helped push Helias to go further than they've ever gone before when it comes to Helias basketball. That was all the way to the state title game, baby.
hmm
Now, if you've been following, I know you're aware Helias did lose in that state title game, and that was to Webster Groves. But that does not take away from the
no,
amazing season that they had. They came second place in state. They were the Cinderella team of the tournament. They weren't supposed to be there. Everyone kept watching week after week, going, why is this team still here? In February, at one point, the Crusaders were sitting at 8-12 for the season. It was at that point where Helias stormed to finish off that season 10-2, and they completed with an 18-14 record. They just started blowing through teams with amazing teamwork, amazing three-point shooting, and that includes from our guy tonight, Malcolm Davis. During that epic run in the playoffs, Malcolm averaged 18 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. He and Desmond were both named to the Missouri All-State team. So we're not talking just districts, we're not talking regionals. That's those were easy awards for these guys. They got selected to the All-State team. Only 7 players in our area had that honor. Malcolm's one of them. So it is a super big honor to have Malcolm on the show tonight. Not only that, his father, Floyd Davis, is as the varsity assistant coach for basketball. So I'm super excited to bring him on the show tonight. That way he can brag on his son and give us the insight on the Helias basketball program. So if you guys are ready, I am ready to dive into some Crusader basketball.
Jay, we're going to do that, and it's good because I have insight on Coach Davis as well, playing back. What we're going to call this episode "Back in the Day." So we're going to talk about him and and myself playing back in the day. So here we go. Let's bring him on tonight.
You
Hey
know,
guys, thanks for
for
joining
our
us.
Thanks for
No
having me.
problem. Yes.
For our
Thank you.
viewers watching, you might notice my dad just seems to play with all the coaches back in the day. I'm not saying like you've aged yourself a little bit, Dad, but
Well, it's back
every
there in the
episode,
day.
yeah,
I don't know what day, but it's back there.
it seems like you've just been hooping forever, Dad. I think that's cool. I used to hoop with you. I couldn't keep up with you, and I was young. I was 18. You were like 75, but I still couldn't keep up with you back then.
See, there, you're good. It keeps going. It's all right. It's good.
Oh, oh, I'm just an April Fool. I'll never
Yeah,
forget
that's
it.
all right.
Okay, anyways,
I was wrong. I was
Mal-
wrong.
Malcolm and Floyd, we are super excited to have you guys on the show tonight. I kind of wanted to start the interview talking with you, Malcolm. Um, I just got done talking about that postseason run. You guys were the Cinderella team. You did what you weren't supposed to do. You went the furthest. You set a record for Helias. You guys went the furthest that any Helias team's ever gone for basketball. How special was it knowing that that was your last season as a Crusader and that you went all the way to the championship game?
It was something really special. like you mentioned before, we kind of had a rough patch. We were 8-12, and before that, I think we were in 2-7 at the beginning of the year, and it really took a lot out of me, Dez, and our role players just coming together and just building that chemistry. Really helped. Also, sophomore season, our Final Four got cut off by COVID, which also motivated some of our guys and being able to actually play and be on the biggest stage possible for us.
That what you guys accomplished. I mean, that's a pretty big deal. Even just making it to the championship game. I know back in the day, 1983, we won the state championship, and we started with a 6-13 record. We ended up with an 11-13 record, winning the state championship, and they have not been back to that state title game since 1983. I'm telling you, it is not an easy thing to get there, and so congratulations to you guys getting there and being one of the top two teams in the state. Out of all those other teams, you guys made it, and that was a
Yep.
huge accomplishment. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Malcolm, getting to watch some of those highlights, I unfortunately wasn't able to be at that game, but that's a big arena. Like, how was it being there in that big arena, all the crowds? I mean, it looked wild, man. Was it fun?
Yeah, so I mean, right when we got there, we walked in and we were walking this is a Class 6 championship game, and it was Nixa and CBC, and you just see all the Nixa fans just loaded up on that backside there, and just walking in there and just like soaking it all in and playing in front of a big crowd, and even more watching on TV. It was a really cool experience, and I'm just glad, my last year, I'm just glad I got to do it with a brotherhood and something I hopefully built for a lifetime.
Well, guys, we have jumping into the program tonight the legendary Elijah Mayfield. He said, "Hey, Malcolm Davis, looking good, buddy. Miss you, bud." And Coach Floyd Davis, you are the man. I can,
Man.
yeah, we can hear Elijah saying that. Elijah, thanks for joining us, buddy. All right, Jay,
Oh,
continue. Go on.
that is awesome. Coach, I kind of want to give you a chance to talk about that epic run as well, and kind of how the team all of a sudden it was like a switch got turned with this team, and I'm just kind of curious, like the insight on what that switch was, and then they went on this epic run and all the way to the state title game. From a coach's perspective, how was that?
It was amazing for one thing. Um, Most important thing was the leadership that they showed. Uh, they just really worked hard, and Malcolm got them together. And Trey Bexton, they'd go out to volleyball. I mean, volleyball. They go bowling. They went to dinner, and they just kind of did it amongst themselves to get some team bonding together, and it was really great.
Yeah, that's awesome. You can tell on the court that bond really did pay dividends when they were
Mhm.
playing together on the court. Um, Malcolm, the Helias Catholic, they're really good about supporting their teams. It doesn't really matter what event's going on, Helias shows up. What were the fans like for the postseason and throughout your career at Helias?
Oh, it was amazing. You don't really see that atmosphere, with the Rackers rowdies and loading up the student section, everything like that, and even the parents, they were always supportive every game we went to, and being on the road for the state championship was kind of tough. 2.5 hours away, uh, but it was awesome. Sitting on the bench and looking over there, and seeing our students over there being supportive, and I knew they would be when we had a pep rally before we left for us and the girls, and it was the spirits were up, and it really led into the game and really helped us momentum wise. Some much needed moments.
Jay was talking a little bit earlier about that big arena you were playing in. I know you've played all over the country, going to different AAU tournaments and different things like that. But tell the people how much different it is playing in one of those bigger arenas where it's like everything seems to just expand out. How does that? How long does it take you to adjust to being able to make sure that you've got things lined up properly?
Yeah, it is weird. Even like being able to shoot the basketball, like your depth perception is really off. So you go into warm-ups, you take that first shot, and you're like, whoa, what's going on here? And so I think it takes a lot, and some of that is just nerves too, and being able to break out of that is, it takes some time for sure.
Yeah, that's a big switch. When you go into somewhere like that, it's a big switch. And like you said, being all hyped up. I mean, it wasn't like it was just a every other day game. It was a serious game. So you guys again did an outstanding job. Uh, Coach Davis, I want to ask you, what did you appreciate about Malcolm's growth as a player? I mean, you've been with him, of course, all the way. You've taught him everything that he knows, and
True.
he wasn't able to watch video of you back in the day. But tell us about what you've appreciated and what you've really seen in his growth.
Number one, I think, is his leadership. He's always had work ethic to get better, but his leadership really improved a lot this year. He took it among himself to get his relationship good with his coaches, um, and with everybody on the team. He really worked at it, and I was proud of that because basketball speaks for itself. But other things we look at as parents, we want him to be a good leader, and we think that he really improved on that.
That's huge on a team, and when you've got good leaders, it helps motivate everybody else because, like you were talking about earlier, when you were kind of going through that rough patch, somebody needs to stand up and say, "Come on, guys, let's go." And so, obviously, you were one of those guys that helped do that, and it showed on the court. Um, Coach, one other question. I mean, what have you appreciated about the Crusader basketball program? I know you've coached several different places, and you can share that some of the different places that you've have coached, and that will kind of remind people, yeah, this guy's got some experience, and he's here helping make sure that this program is continuing to grow and move forward. So, what do you appreciate about Helias Crusader program?
First, I was at Westminster. I'm still there. It's my 23rd year there. Um, but with Helias is just the growth of kids, the community, the support. Being able to go in the gym and use it anytime was always good because we were always there. But it developed him as a student athlete, and that's what's really important to me in my life.
Speaking of that, you were talking about his academics. How proud are you, or how proud of him are you of that?
That's number one because he would go on recruiting trips with me when I go to Westminster recruit kids, and my first question is, "What's your GPA? What's your ACT?" So he knows how important it is because there's life after basketball. So we're really proud of him as he's a 385 student. We're really happy for that. That's the most important thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey guys, this is great stuff. We flew through that first segment. We've got a whole bunch more, including the speed round. I mean, I know you guys are probably wondering what's the speed round, but Jay gets to come up with these wacky questions. We don't let you know what they are. We save them from the end. So hopefully you just don't pop off before we get to the end. But we're gonna take our commercial break and then we'll be right back and we'll hit the second segment. This has been great stuff so far, but we're gonna bring in CNS Business Services and see what they have to say.
Not everybody is an 8 to 5 Monday through Friday type. At CNS, we have employment options for the way you want to work with our flexible scheduling program. Flexible scheduling is designed to fit your lifestyle and allows you to be in control of your schedule. CNS offers insurance plans upon employment. Celebrating 45 years of staffing, CNS Business Services.
Say yes to CNS.
All right, Jay Gill, you know what to do. You run with it.
Man, we are so appreciative of CNS Business Services and what they provide, not only being a sponsor on our show, but for what they do in the community. If you are looking for a job, if you are out there searching, and there's a lot of places who are hiring, CNS can connect you. And like it said in that commercial, they've got 35 years of experience doing this. They can do that flexible scheduling. They
45.
can get you 45 years. Sorry, Dad, my brain fart.
That's back in
And
the
they
day.
can get you back in the day. They can get you connected with the right employers, and they can get you lined up in a good job. So we love Paula and her team over there, CNS Business Services. They are an awesome organization to partner with. So don't hesitate. Partner with them. Come on, give them a call.
See, I told you you did too good with this. I am never going to do it again. You're the one that's doing it, so I'm done. That's your job now.
Oh,
You
no
do
problem.
good.
No problem.
All right. Hey, Malcolm, what was the moment when, and this is what I always like to know because, Jay, this is the same thing with him, but what was the moment like when you first beat your dad in a game of basketball? Now, before we go, I'm assuming that that's taken place, and if not, we need to switch our questioning around a little bit. So, what was that moment like?
I don't know if I've ever just like went outside and just played him in a one-on-one, but when we were younger, and he would always take me to the gym, the YMCA after school, and every time after we got done rebounding, we would have a little free throw competition. And let me tell you, you said he could play back in the day. He can still shoot free throws, and I think I think it was like fourth grade, and so we just got done working out and do it every time free throw competition. You just shoot five until we get to 10 shots. Whoever makes the most wins. And I think I ended up beating him by like one or two shots, and that's all I talked about for probably a week. Until he walked in the door, told my mom, I was like, "Guess who beat Dad?" And that just brought a smile to my face. And I think that kind of shows, the relationship we've had since I was young, and it only built on from there.
That's great. Now, Coach, you get a quick rebuttal. I mean, is that how it all went? And, what's been your record as far as most free throws made in a row?
Yes, he did win because I wasn't. I'm not going to play one on one. I knew that, so I was like, I'd rather get beat free throws than one on one. I'd get embarrassed, you know.
So,
You
Coach,
know.
what was
So
the most free throws you ever hit in a row?
when we went to 10, I probably had 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you
All
go.
right. That was good. Malcolm, how about you?
Well, the one time I beat him, I think I had 8.
Okay. All right.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is
That is
great.
awesome.
Well, that was
So,
good information right there. Jay, what about you? What was it like when you beat me?
Malcolm, I will say it's a good feeling when you beat your dad doing something. For us, it was ping pong. We played ping pong a lot. And I think I lost about, 175 games in a row. And then finally, the day came where, he just turned old. And I finally beat him. And it was a major victory in my life. I wrote about it in my diary. I reflect on it often. If
He
I'm
got
feeling blue, I just read that journal. It's good.
guys. This guy, he became almost like Forrest Gump. He was over there going boom, 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 boom. He was everywhere.
I had to. You were like the Chinese nemesis that Forrest Gump had to play. Like you
Uh
were
huh.
so good. Oh, you were
I
so
just
good.
liked making him dive into the carpet and the walls and stuff. Making him go from side to side.
And
I
he
think he
did.
still whoops me
And
in ping pong.
yeah.
Because
Oh, that's
he uses
awesome.
this right here and he knows exactly where to go. Right.
Right.
Very good. Awesome. All right, Jay, go
Oh,
ahead.
that's awesome. So, Coach Davis, what part of Malcolm's game do you see that's improved most over the years?
I always knew offensively he was fine in his ball handling skills because he worked on those two. But the one part that he bought into was his defense. I really believe that improved so much. And he had to be proud of that because a lot of times he was picked to guard the best guy, you know.
Mm,
And but I think his defense would really improve the most.
that's awesome. So, Coach, outside of basketball, what are you most proud of with Malcolm?
Um, I know leadership's number one. Naturally, his academics are important to us. But just the fact, though, that he's pretty humble, and I like that. You know, when I called and told him that he made All State, well, I texted him. He was at school, and I said, "Hey, you made All State," and his comment was, "Really?" And I'm like, "You deserved All State." And he says, yeah, I think I did. So that was kind of, he's pretty humble, you know,
Very
and
good.
that's important to us.
Absolutely. That makes a good leader right there. Absolutely.
Yes.
All
So,
right.
Malcolm, you're sitting in class, you get that text, you made all state. Is your first thing like, did did Desmond make it? Like, why am I here? Did Desmond make it too? Like, I'm just curious, what was going through your mind?
Well, the funny thing is, so right before that, I was talking to one of the teachers who was a coach, and he was asking how my recruiting was going and stuff like that. And I was like, well, hopefully I can make all state, and maybe that'll get my name out there a little bit. And I'm literally walking up the stairs, and my dad texts me, and he's like, "You made all state," and he sent me the screenshot, and I'm like, "No way!" I was like, "I was just talking about that." And yeah, it did definitely surprise me, and I was trying to figure out who the player of the year was and all this and that, and yeah, it definitely made my day.
That is
That's cool.
awesome. Yep.
Yeah,
And
I got the
go
call
ahead, Floyd.
from Quinn Cousin's dad, Tim Cousin. He texted me and said,
yeah.
somebody finally realized that Malcolm can play, and he made all state this year because we're pretty good friends, and
Uh-huh.
that made me feel good in the morning. I got that about 9 in the morning,
Yeah.
It made me feel good that I thought he deserved it.
Absolutely.
But one
Absolutely.
thing about Malcolm is Malcolm, like when Desmond broke the single point record, Malcolm was just as happy for him as Des was.
Mm-hmm.
And that shows a good kid. I got a text from a good friend of mine, Detective Weaver, Jeff City Police Department. He says,
Mm-hmm.
you got to be so proud of your son because most kids with his ability would care about themselves too.
Mm-hmm.
And as a parent, you're so happy to hear that. He was just as happy for Des, and he helped Des get that.
Mm-hmm.
And he was happy for him just as much as Des was happy. And that made me feel good as a parent, not a coach.
Right.
And that was important to me.
And I will add that, Jay, I was happy that you won in ping pong finally. And,
Oh.
But I will say it didn't last very long. I wanted to beat you again.
No, I think I lost another 50 times in a row, but it didn't matter. I got that one. That's all I cared about. That is all
One
I
time.
cared about. One time, baby. One time, baby. Give it to me one time. Come on now, baby. Come on.
Malcolm, I want to ask you, what have you appreciated about your dad and his ability and willingness to help you be the best you can be in sports and life? Because I know he's had a big influence on you there.
Yeah, both my parents really just been there for everything, rebounding for me late at night and stuff like that. And my dad's definitely my number one supporter, and he was, and I have no doubt that he always will be in my corner as I move on through life and in my journey. And every day I feel like I'm learning something new, especially on the basketball court, teaching me something and teach me how I can do this move better. And I think that really helps with life too, using that relationship we have on the basketball court and him teaching me different things through basketball and how I can be a better person. And like he talked about earlier, building my character, and he really played a big part in that because I look up to him and all the good things he's done for other people around the community, and makes me happy and makes me want to be like him and help other people out like he did.
That's awesome. So now the other question is, so why can't you believe that he was so good in basketball back in the day?
Everybody tells me, oh, your dad used to hoop a lot. I mean, look at him. He's bald. He's got a beard. He's old.
That could be said the same of me. That's the same thing with me. Maybe we needed to divide the screens up a little bit. No, I shared it before. Your dad, I mean, man, he used to get out there and he was competitive and he played right in there among the trees and actually you may not have known this, or maybe you do. Your dad was pretty good at trash talk too, because back in the day that's what we did out on the basketball court.
Sometimes it takes over me a little bit when I get in the heat of the moment.
Yeah. The good thing is when you can back it up.
Right.
Yeah, that's the deal. Well, hey, Jay, I want to lead into this next question because, the Elijah Mayfield, he wanted to know this too. So why don't you go ahead and ask this next question of Malcolm, just kind of see what's going on.
Well, Elijah, I'm just going to read from Elijah because it's like almost the question we had. Malcolm, what are your plans after high school? Are you still going to be playing basketball in college? $1 million question.
So that that's definitely a goal of mine. It always has been to be able to play at the next level, wherever that is. And I tell everybody this since I was little. I wanted to go as far away as possible and get out of state. And they're like, "Why? Why do you want to do that?" I'm like, well, "I can always come back here." And I just feel like that gives me more opportunity. So I don't know where I'm going to go yet, but over the summer I'm playing with Michael Porter Jr. Elite. They gave me an opportunity to play with them as an
Awesome.
unsigned senior. And we just had a tournament this past weekend. Hopefully open the eyes of some coaches and stuff like that. But it is getting a little late in the time making a decision. But I have no doubt that the right program will come up and it'll be the right one for me.
Mm-hmm. Now, Coach Davis, you were talking about the transfer portal and how that's made things difficult in the recruiting process. Tell us a little bit about that.
I don't know all the bylaws about it, but I do know that kids have the opportunity to just transfer at free will now without having to sit out. So that makes it hard on incoming freshmen. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, incoming freshmen to college. Yes. So
Yeah.
they wait. I think the final time is like the first week of May, I believe.
Hmm.
And then I think the college coaches will start looking at high school kids more.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, that's tough.
That
Yes.
transfer portal, those coaches see that as kids that have proven themselves in that level,
Yeah.
which makes a lot of sense. And I think I forgot where I was. I think I was visiting Benedictine last week, and the coach was saying there was 1,200 kids in the transfer portal, and
Wow.
that doesn't count
Wow.
the NAIA kids or
Mhm.
the JUCO kids that are that doesn't count them. So it's a lot of opportunities out there for those kids, and kind of hurts those incoming freshmen.
Yeah.
And they also get a COVID year too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
You know.
We
And
saw.
what I do telling Kurt is just keep working every day, and then when that opportunity comes, you'll be ready. We're right down the road from Mr. Missouri basketball, Northweather, and he hasn't went anywhere yet. So
Right.
it will happen. Just be patient.
Yeah.
I mean, because that kid's load, he could play, and he hasn't signed anywhere. So I told Malcolm it'll happen.
Yeah.
Just
Absolutely.
be patient.
Absolutely. So tell us, Malcolm, how many games did you play this last weekend? And wasn't that in Indiana? Is that where you went?
Yeah, Indianapolis. Yeah.
Indianapolis. Okay.
Yep.
How many games did you guys play?
One game. We played one game Friday. It was a good game. I think we ended up winning by 15 or so, and then played two on Saturday. Lost the first one in the morning on the buzzer beater. It was a tough loss, and then we played one more on Sunday, so 4 games total. We ended up winning that one on a buzzer beater against the good Team Yobo. So I'm excited for because that was a live period, and in 2 weeks we play Kansas City in another NCAA live period. So I'm excited for it, and I'm glad they gave me that opportunity to showcase my skills. And yeah.
All right. And of course, you got mom and dad. They're probably right along there with you, helping support you and making sure that you get all those nutrients. And I know Jay's going to be asking these questions coming pretty soon, so I'm not going to go into those right now. But we, you've done some really cool things around school, around this community. And I do want to ask you, though, we didn't have this on there before we go to the speed round. What have you appreciated the most about being a student athlete at Helias Catholic?
I mean, there's a lot of things that can go into that. They really appreciate, and we kind of talked about this before, appreciate their sports and the success that they have, announcing it on the announcements every day and having events, where kids can come and, all the kids get in free and stuff like that to our games. And so it's been an experience, and first and foremost, I'm getting a good education. So can't argue with that.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, before we go to the speed round, is there anything else that you want to add here?
No, I just would like to thank, the Helias community and the community itself for giving myself and my son to spend with them giving me a job there. It was very special for me to be part of that,
Mhm.
of his career. and that was really important to me. And I want to thank them for that. You know, Dwayne Klingman, who gave me gave me my contract, that was important. Coach Joe Rothweiler, you know, those were important things to me because I got to spend it with my son.
Yeah, that's great. That is awesome.
Well, I would like to thank Coach Josh Buffington too because he gave me my first freshman job there.
Okay.
So I'd like to thank him also.
Started
Yeah.
from the bottom.
That's awesome. All right. Let's see. We got a comment here from Melanie Morton Porter out there in California, and she says, "Best of luck on the college process." And
Thank
we
you.
know that
Thank you.
Trishelle just signed at. She's a Blue Jay, so Trishelle just signed for that. So congratulations to
Saw that.
Trishelle. All right, Jay, are you ready to jump into the speed round? I mean, these guys can't wait. They're ready.
I know I am, and this is not a part of the speed round, but Malcolm, I'm just curious, how sad is Desmond? Like he's losing you. You guys were like the Splash Brothers out there. How sad is Desmond knowing that he's not going to have his Malcolm Davis with him next year?
You know, it'd definitely be different. Me and Des, we grew up. We were playing basketball together when we were in third grade on the same Marks Mobile Glass team for the YMCA. So it's definitely going to be a little different. I think he's gonna continue to possibly break a lot more records there. So I think he's excited about that. And we're gonna stay in touch. So that's always good. And I'm excited to see where he goes and where basketball takes him.
Very good.
Yeah, that's cool. Very cool.
It's been a great interview. It's going to go out with a bang. Jane Gill, you kick it off.
Yeah, we're going to go out with a bang. All right, so this is the speed round, gentlemen. Now, I spend a lot of time sitting down and coming up with the perfect questions to ask. And this is for our audience to get to know you as a fellow human being on planet Earth. So I'm not looking for super long answers, but just one or two words. If you have a sentence, that's fine too. But this is just round 3, the speed round. All right, here we go. We'll start off with you, Malcolm. This is serious. If you were a Disney character, which Disney character would you be?
I don't even know many Disney characters. Let me see here. Disney character.
While you're
He's gonna
thinking
have to come
about
back
that,
to me.
Caleb came on and said, "Wow, who are these ugly bums? Ha ha." And I think what he's talking about, you and I, Jay. Wow, he
I
doesn't
think
even.
so too. Wow, Caleb. Shots fired, bud. All right, shots fired. Understandable. Man.
That's awesome. All right, sorry. Back to the Disney character.
All right, now come on. Now, if you think about it, Disney owns pretty much everything. So
You could just make up a
They
name.
do own a lot. I think one thing that comes to mind is Lilo and Stitch. I think I would want to be Stitch.
Okay, there you go.
That says a lot
It's
about your
because
character. I acknowledge
because
that. All right, you live in chaos.
nobody really says that. You know,
Yeah.
it's different.
That was original. It's the first time I've heard that. You live in chaos, son. All right, got it. All right, so Malcolm, after a game, after that amazing game against the Fighting Irish, I mean, you guys won that. You shouldn't have won it, but you did, and it was epic. You have this awesome game. What's your go-to after game meal? Like, I want to eat. I want to get fat. What do you eat? Like, I love food.
Actually, after every practice game, I come home and I pour at least 2 glasses of chocolate milk, and I sit right there, right next to my little island counter right there, and drink 2 glasses of chocolate milk after every game.
There you
There it
go.
is.
Sometimes that's all I have the rest of the night.
All right.
Chocolate milk. I love it. All right,
Yeah.
that's good. And I might have to ask your dad this one instead of you, but we'll just see if he confirms. Malcolm, what chore do you absolutely despise doing?
All of them.
There you go.
That's funny. All right, Malcolm, which chore do you absolutely despise doing?
The one I probably don't do at all is keeping my room clean and making my bed. Like, my room's clean, don't get me wrong, but like when he comes in there, he's like, "Pick your clothes up." I just look at him.
Floyd can confirm. Got it. Good, good.
Yep.
All right. What's the funniest prank you've done or you've had done to you? What's the funniest prank that's been done to you?
Actually, every time we have somebody over at the house, actually he got me with it first. We got this little fart box, and he loves to be a little kid. Like, he laughs at his own fart. Like, who does that? So he'll just walk around and just do that little fart box. I'm like, "Dad, what are you doing? What is that?" And 15 minutes straight, just every 45 seconds, and I finally catch it on. But it's funny because now every time I have friends over or something, he whips out that little old. I don't even think we've ever changed the batteries. He whips out that little old fart box and gets everybody with it.
Oh,
That's
that is
great.
awesome. That's fantastic. All right. If you could teleport right now, where would you go?
If I could teleport, I'll go to Florida.
Florida. All right. Any
Yeah.
particular place in Florida?
Nah, I've only been to the beach once in my life, so probably like the beach somewhere over there.
Going to the beach. All right. I like it. Malcolm, what's your hidden talent? What talent do you have that no one really knows about?
Ooh. I don't know. I'm pretty good at video games.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm a gamer too. Hit me
Yeah.
with it. What are we talking? What are we talking?
It just depends. I play on my PC. Kind of
Oh,
a nerd.
oh, you're a real gamer. Wow.
A little bit of a
Okay.
nerd.
Jay's like, I'm gonna take that back.
Yeah. Wow. I just have a PlayStation 5. You're a real gamer. You got the PC, bud. Whoa. All right. Cool. That's awesome. All right. Last one for you, Malcolm. Finish this sentence. When I dance, I look like
Michael Jackson.
Michael.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice. That means he's good,
Yeah.
folks. That
That's
means he can
right.
dance.
That's
All
right.
I
right.
try.
He brought out
That's
the
good.
king right there.
Yeah, yeah, he did. That's awesome.
He
All
knows
right,
I'm a
all
big
right.
Michael Jackson fan.
Yeah. That's good. Did one for the dad right there.
That's good. Um, all right, Coach Davis, you're up. If your life was a story, what would it be titled?
Um,
Back in the day.
probably, probably. I used to complain
There you
to
go.
convince people that I used to complain.
Yeah, there it is. All right, Coach. Now, I'm all about the food, so I have to ask you too. What's your favorite after game snack? Are you sitting there chugging chocolate milk with Malcolm, or what's your go-to? The stress is done. You can sit down and relax. What do you like to eat?
Anything with chicken in it.
There it is. Got to
Anything.
get that chicken.
Yes, that's
I
right.
like it. All right, Coach. What's one thing that most people don't know about you?
Um, I don't really know. I think if anything is that I care so much about our youth and our that's probably the most important thing about the future of our kids. And to me, that's probably more than anything.
Good. That's awesome. Um, I feel like you can give me a good answer to this. So I always like asking, the more mature people this question. What book, what book would you give to all of your friends? If you could pick one book, what's the book you've read that you're like, you guys have got to check this out? I always like adding to my collection.
The Kobe Bryant book,
Nice.
yes, that's probably because we're big Kobe fans and Laker fans.
Oh
And
yeah, Black Mamba.
Malcolm has a real nice, yes, Black Mamba. Malcolm has a real nice tattoo, the Black Mamba that we really, I'd say that'd be number one.
That's awesome.
Anything with
I'll have to
Kobe.
check that out. Very
Yes.
cool.
Not a good time to be a Lakers fan right now.
Oh, not at all. My brother has been a diehard Kobe Lakers fan since he was a little kid, and he is so bummed right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll figure it out. They always do. All right,
Yes.
Coach Davis. What animal are you secretly terrified of?
Not so much of animals. Probably snake's probably the most. But if it was an animal, probably a bear.
There you go. You know, I've got bears out
With
here
good
in
reason.
Colorado, I'll tell you that.
With good reason.
Because I know I can't outrun it.
And we don't want to ask the bear what its favorite food is. We don't want to ask that question.
We don't want to know. Coach, what's one thing that calms you down when you are really stressed?
Talking to my wife, Christy. That's probably the most important, you know. I had a bad day or something, and I come home and talk to her, and she gives a different opinion of different ways of handling things, and I look at that. That's what I'd say.
That's awesome. All right, Coach, last one. What's at the top of your bucket list? What have you not done that you're going to do?
I want to take my wife on a cruise.
Nice.
That's probably it. Yeah.
Not
Cool.
your kids,
Nice.
though?
Not your kids.
He said, what about your kids?
Take my wife on a cruise.
That's right. Good answer. Now, hopefully she's watching.
stock-
She's going to hold you to it. I
Yeah.
like this.
And Malcolm, he will make sure that the refrigerator is stocked with chocolate milk. So there you go.
Okay, then I guess we're even.
I guess we're even.
All right, I've got some here I'm going to throw out real quick, and I'm going to start with you, Coach Davis. Your all-time favorite moment on the basketball court and why?
Probably one of my funnest parts was when we had a really good week of practice. The year we went to the Final Four, and we were practicing at Lincoln, and Coach Rothweiler said, okay, we're going to have some fun. And he goes, Floyd, you're going to race Isaac Johnson, which is an all-state soccer player, a point guard at that time. But Isaac, you got to bear crawl. And I'm like, okay. So we set the race up, and I start running. And all I know is that I kept falling and falling, and the kids got it on video, and it was everywhere. And that was probably one of the funnest part. And they really remind me of that all the time.
I'm sure they just don't let it go, do they?
No. But, you know, me and my son, it probably was when the last game when he came out and that hug he gave me of thank you. That was the most important part. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
That was really important.
Cool. All right, now I'm going to get a little bit lighter here. Strangest two foods you've combined together that you like?
Hamburger and ramen noodles.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. All right.
Solid.
Jay's like, I'm getting hungry. Okay.
Yeah.
Chocolate milk, hamburger, and ramen noodles. There you go.
Let me. Honey, get that ramen going, babe. Thanks, baby.
All right. Toughest player you've ever gone up against in your playing days?
Jamal Tatum.
Okay. All right. Now, growing up, Malcolm reminded you of what comic book character?
Sometimes, probably the Joker.
It's a Joker. All right.
Yeah.
I can see that. I can see that the Joker walking around with fart boxes. I can see that happening.
Yeah.
He sounds like he comes by it naturally.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Coach. I'm going to move on to Malcolm. Malcolm, if you describe your basketball game from the animal kingdom perspective, you play like a
lion,
lion. Okay, why a lion?
because actually probably like a lion.
Okay.
Because when you think of like a lion, you think of somebody that's hungry and always wanting more.
Yeah.
So
that's a little scary playing against somebody like that. Okay, so no wonder your dad wanted to shoot free throws.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right, longest you've ever slept after a game.
12 hours.
Okay. Your dream
It's
car.
a full circle.
Yeah. That's Jay. I think Jay slept 12 hours just the other day for a nap, right?
It was a good nap, I'll tell you what.
Okay. All right. All right. Your dream car and why?
A Tesla.
Tesla.
Because, like, why would I want to drive myself when it can drive for me? That's like your permanent chauffeur right there.
Yeah. And plus, it goes really fast, really quick.
Really fast.
All right, so we're going to end this on a bang. This is the question everybody wants to know. Describe your dad's celebration dance after a victory.
That's probably the most awkward thing ever. Because he's about two inches off the ground, not even, barely sliding a credit card under his feet, but he's jumping up and down with his hands in the air. But yeah, I remember after we beat Jeff City in the district championship, there's a TikTok dance, the gritty, and we were all doing it, and he goes over there and he tried to do it himself, and I thought he was going to fall and hurt himself, but it definitely gave us a laugh, that's for sure.
All right. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. We've run out of time. This has been a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We have. Obviously Caleb did because he's been talking trash to you guys during the whole time. Elijah,
Trust me, he'll call us.
He'll call you, right? Elijah, he was really trying to get this question out there, but I mean, he wanted to know, why not Lincoln? Are you going to go to Lincoln? He's wanting to know about all that, but Elijah, you heard it. He wants to go away. He wants to go somewhere. So we'll just leave it at that.
But before they made the coaching changes, they were talking to him.
Yeah.
So Malcolm said he's not ruling it out.
Yeah.
There
you go, Elijah.
The new coach, yeah.
There you go,
I think
Elijah.
they're going to announce a new coach this week.
Awesome.
So
very good. Well, guys, hey, thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and let Jay close us out, and if you'll both hold on until after we get done shutting down the program, we'll visit with you real quick. Jay, do your thing.
Awesome. Hey, One Nation, you guys are awesome. Thanks so much for tuning in. You know what you have to do. You got to like our page. You need to subscribe. You got to share our content. And you need to comment. Let us know you're there. Let us know what questions you have. That way we can keep bringing on awesome people like Malcolm Davis and Coach Floyd Davis. We got spoiled tonight having such two awesome people on our show. So we can't thank them enough for taking the time and doing that with us. We're here every Monday night. You guys can catch us at 7 p.m. Central Time. So tune in every week, and we're going to keep bringing you guys awesome content. We love you guys. I'm your co-host, Jay. That's the Bald Eagle. God bless. Have a great week.
God bless you guys. We'll see you next week.